Vin Ganapathy begins a portrait by carefully studying his subject. And when he feels ready, he draws the first line. Vin spends as much time looking at his subject as he does looking down at his drawing.
I don't do the traditional way of drawing, of creating an oval first. She has a very square-looking face, so I started with her jaw.
His lines are confident, never too scratchy or sketchy, never too bold, just elegant and right. He looks for landmarks and begins to define the edges of the face, which he'll use to guide his proportions and to place the features inside them.
All of these things around her face are basically a frame.
He begins to build up her hair using a water-soluble brush pen.
The hair is the funnest part, especially in a portrait.
Sometimes he'll draw individual hairs, but generally he's looking for large shapes that pull together the face. Now he uses a micron pen, which is waterproof. It won't be affected when he uses his water brush to add tone and break down the water-soluble brush pen ink. Accessories like her beautiful dangling earrings become another way to establish landmarks and to further define the frame that will go around her features. When he feels like he understands her jawline and the shape of her head, he decides how he's going to place the mouth and the chin. He uses a very light touch to place her nose. Next, he begins to draw the eye region, but first he defines the eyebrows.
Eyebrows are pretty fun to draw too, because you can do light starting points, and there's always seems to be a thick part right here, and then it usually goes light again.
Now he knows how to place the eyes. He looks at the shape of the negative space below the eyebrow and below the eyelid. He places the second eye, again carefully drawing the shape of the top of the eyelid first. Vin never draws what he thinks is there, but only what he can actually see himself. He goes back and forth between studying his subject and doing minor revisions and alterations to the exact shape of the eyelids. Then he adds tone to the irises, which brings them alive. His water brush activates the ink from the brush pen, and a paper towel helps to blend it.
Instead of using a line to or her eyelids, I'll usually use like a wash brush to pull out some of the ink, create like the rest of the nose, or like the shadow that's in her eyes, or her eyelids.
Now he comes back with his fine micron pen to add the final touches and details. And then he comes back with his water brush, adding subtle areas of tone that he blots out time and again to make sure that nothing stands out too strongly. That's the key to Vin Ganapathy's work. Careful, deliberate observation so that he gets every line right where it should be. And then the slow and subtle layering of tone to achieve dimension and accuracy and drawings that look alive.
I am finishing up with a large brush pen because, again, with the hair, I really like using large swabs of ink. I usually do this with the hair. I think this is finished for a black and white portrait.
And there it is. In 10 minutes, the portrait's done and the likeness is stunning.